Apocalypse Gaming.
Hi there folks, hope you're all well. I know I promised I'd try and do a video a week, and I know I failed. Last thing I've uploaded was the bus project. After the bus project, various things going on and my mood slipped and I went bleh, and couldn't get back into it. So I'm looking to try and get back into the hobby again and again and again and again. So hopefully going to see a series of vids coming from me again. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be making these up. Now the first two things I'm going to show you, just zoom in so you can catch this in the light. Let's get some light on it. Is that kit there. Mithral found these maybe 5 years ago at Carronade, I think it was, that she had done the negotiations. So the kit says it was £2, but she didn't actually pay that. And this kit as well, and the kit again says £2, but she didn't actually pay that because she's one hell of a negotiator. So she paid less than £2 a kit. Can't remember how much. I think she probably got about £1 off them. Yeah, a whole 25%, something like that probably, because anything you want to buy at a bring and buy, send her. She will get you a discount, sometimes quite substantial. So, going to build up both of these kits from our terrain because I've built some new shelves, so I've got places to store my terrain. And then we're doing some other terrain after that. Next bit of terrain is, got this at Salute, when it came out at Salute, whenever that was. Is that 2 years ago? Is that 3 years ago? I don't know. But we picked it up at Salute anyway for Drop Zone. So I'll be getting this built as well. And then I've got tons and tons of other terrain as well I want to get built. But these are the first three things that I'm going to be making. I'm going to go with the wee Airfix kits first because I fancy doing them and I think they'll work well for Dead Zone. I'm going to build this as well because, quite frankly, I forgot it was there and I was looking for the Airfix kits and I found it with the Airfix kits. So that's why this one's going to get done. Not going to paint them up at the minute, I'm just getting them all built. I'm going to go through a building process of all the terrain, and then the terrain can get maybe painted up as a block build, block paint sort of idea. And maybe some of the family will want to paint some of it after I've got it built as well, don't know. So that's what we're doing now. So then, what's in a box? So this is the Robogear Hexagon terrain set. Is that what the other one says as well? I don't actually know. No, the other one's the platform. So this is the Robogear Hexagon set. Let's have a wee leak inside. I've actually never looked in these since Mithral bought them, so I don't know much about them. I do remember Arbonukta. I'm sure he built a whole load of stuff using these guys. He managed to source them from Russia, because it's not just Airfix that makes the Robogear. There was like 3 or 4 different companies had the license, and it was all the same stuff in the same boxes, just with a different manufacturer's name on it. So that's the Airfix version of the Robogear, and I think it was a Russian company, Arbonukta, had managed to pick his up from, but he'd done some great stuff with them. I remember him filing bits off as well. So that's one of the sprues. Let's just grab something, give us an idea. It's a 28mm figure from Dreadball. So, gives us a wee idea. He's a bit bigger than human scale. Let's grab a human. So, there's human scale, 28mm. Gives us an idea. Another sprue. This looks like an identical sprue. Again, some different stuff. Nice detail on this, very nice detail. I'm impressed. Is that the same sprue as the first sprue again? Yes, so that's the same as the first sprue. And that's the same as the second sprue. And then stanchions. So we've got 1 sprue of this, 2 sprues of that, and 3 sprues of this, which I assume can make this. So I'm just going to try and make what we see on the box. Not going to do anything fancy, not going to do anything flash, just going to try and make what we see, because I think that's a cool looking piece of terrain, and it looks like it'll be defensible, and it's multi-layered, which will be good for Dead Zone. So, going to go with that. So this is going to be tedious and boring, so I won't put you through it. I'm just going to absolutely de-sprue everything and then take it forward for there. So we'll do this one wee click. And I've done that the wrong way actually. If you're going to do this the safe way, when you're cutting with your sprue cutters, you can go in like this with the flush cut right up close, but that then leaves you the chance of damaging. If you take your cutters the other way around, you're left with a little bit of sprue that you can clean off with your knife. Depends on the shape and depends on the toughness of the plastic which way to do it, but just in case you didn't know that with sprue cutters, I know just about everybody that watches my videos is experienced, but there might be someone out there not experienced in the hobby. So don't take at least these cheaper ones. You can get a good flush cutter, but ours get broke and we didn't buy another pair because they were hell of expensive. That allows you to take the flush cut right up close and it gives you a really clean snip, because they're just slightly off centered. That's also marginally off centered, but it still leaves that not as clean a cut as a really good set. It's just a wee cheap Citadel. I think it's a Citadel ones. Can't remember whose ones these are. It's a cheap set anyway. So on to warp speed.
Maplin.
I've just been told Maplin. Now we'll go to warp speed. So now that that's done, I'm just going to take my knife and carefully trim away any bits of excess sprue that are still on it. Now technically you should always take your knife and move it away from you so you don't cut yourself. Again, just in case there's any noobs watching this that are new to modelling, but I just find control easier when I cut towards myself. So if you're going to be cutting towards yourself, keep that thumb out the way, because it's not the first time with a thumb up there and it goes bouncing off and then you go and slice your finger. So really you should cut away from yourself at all times. I don't have the dexterity personally to have great control that way, so my control is increased by cutting towards myself, but so is my danger level, and it's just a risk that I take. If you're a kid, get an adult to do it, or cut away or use a file. Don't cut towards yourself, kids. Or blonde adults, i.e. me. So that's all I'm doing. I'm going to do it to every piece. These are going to take a wee bit longer because there's a reasonable amount of flash there, so it's just going to be trimming carefully around that as well. So we'll go back to fast forward mode and we'll get all this cleaned up. Okay, so that's all the sprues cleaned up, and my god, that took forever. They were not tidy sprue bits to clean off at all. There's a glasses cloth. But it took me a few hours actually, I think. Recording was stopped for the clean up because you'd have been watching that forever. But cleaned up, we'll get on to the build next.
Apocalypse Gaming.